All right. Well, welcome to September's general booster meeting. Thank you for being here, and for those watching online. So tonight we're going to kind of run through, some of this is from last meeting. If you were there or watched it, it'll be familiar. So just more recaps over the next few meetings. We'll keep doing that for some of the things, just so if we have new people, we can kind of go over it. So we'll talk about the open positions, our goals, some of the updates, and needing things from you guys. Our Grizzly app, electronic tickets. We have a new fundraising platform, so we're going to talk about that. We want everybody to start using. You know, we're going to talk about pretty heavy credit card payments and our odds and ends, which is some notes of things that we're seeing that we want to help everybody to be familiar with.
So if we were here last time, do we need to be here this time? Because
there's a couple things that we're going to be really quick.
Okay.
And I have things I need to specifically talk with you about.
Okay.
So let's get to it. I'll be quick. We'll be done in maybe 15, 20 minutes tops.
Okay, awesome.
Then we can chat about stuff. So just a reminder, you can email us or go to the gbhboosters.org website. So that's where we have all the info. We have all the dates for the upcoming meetings. You can contact us there. Everybody's email address is there. We do have open positions. So if anybody knows of anybody who loves doing writing, communication, social media stuff, we are definitely looking for that person to help us. And then we need a techie person to help me. And then we're still looking for a secretary to help us with doing meeting minutes and stuff like that. So the goals for the year. So we talked about this in last meeting. We're looking for this school year. We really want to get into the electronic stipend processing, make that much easier for everybody. We know it's a pain to fill out and make sure you have the right calculations and all that. Live streaming, we are doing that this year. You know, it's not something we're controlling yet. We're trying to figure out how to work with the school on that. So hopefully in the next couple months, we'll have a little better idea for how we can get involved with those things. And we are looking at trying to get a couple more cameras, perhaps, you know, Pixelot sells one for underwater, so we could do one in aquatics, or having a roaming one we can use for soccer and things like that, okay? We do need everybody to get onboarded for the year, so that come next year we're fully on board with our sports engine. We're working on some of the social interaction engagement, electronic tickets, which we have started using, so hopefully you guys have seen some of that, but we are selling tickets in advance. Yeah.
I bought a ticket yesterday for the polo game, and then my dad decided to come, so I tried to buy another ticket, and the event had disappeared off my app.
We had heard about that. We don't necessarily know why we're looking into that, because it only happened for the water polo, so we don't know if the times were wrong, and it shut the event down early.
Okay. Just wanted to make you aware.
The reality was they weren't scanning the tickets in either, so we've talked to athletics today to make sure that that's happening, because otherwise people buying the tickets is kind of pointless if we're not actually checking them.
Yeah.
So, well, we're working on that.
Well, we're getting the money.
We are looking at getting new scoreboards for football, for the stadium and for the gym, and then cleaning up things, getting rid of old parents that are no longer helping and all that, because the reality is they don't tell us. So they're still there, and at some point we'll do a little audit. For anybody watching or in here, we do need to get updated people. We're going to work on that with aquatics. So if you are listening and you're not sure if we have the right information for your club, then please make sure we have who the president is, who the treasurer is. Make sure they're signing up in the Sports Engine website so that we can communicate, because that's the only way we communicate with the volunteers. So, you know, if you're not in there and you're not getting our emails, that means you're not in there. Onboarding, I won't talk about this a whole lot right now, but essentially we need all the teams and sports and clubs to get onboarded to Sports Engine so they can do the registration, communication, and all that stuff through there. We do have winter coming up, winter sports, so we need everybody to be thinking about that, getting in advance so that we're ready to go for the winter sports. I mentioned this a little bit earlier, gbhboosters.org, that's where you do everything. So we'll always make sure that's up to date. You can watch past meetings. If you weren't able to make it to one, please go there and watch them. If you weren't here last month, definitely go watch it. We had a lot of information and recap. So Laura, for yourself, if you weren't here and you didn't get to watch that yet, please do, because it has a refresher on how we operate.
Right.
And will be great for you. Grizzly app. So we did go live. I had everybody download it that was here last time. If you didn't download it, please get it. It is one of our main tools for getting the community involved. People can check in at the events. They're earning points. They can share pictures from the games and stuff like that. Any communication that we do, whether it's from a coach, from you guys as boosters, should be talking about this and have links to it, okay? Same with the tickets. You should be telling everybody when a coach emails out, hey, we got games this day and that day, and sending it to the parents, they should be putting, get your tickets in advance at grizzlypride.com/box office, okay? Because the more that we know who's coming in advance, the more we can know how to plan that event, how many volunteers do we need, all that kind of stuff. And not everybody has cash, and they're struggling with some of the Wi-Fi, so it's not as easy to take cards and stuff at the gates. So we definitely want to be doing that for basically every email we ever do moving forward. Should have a tagline at the bottom for both of those. Get our apps, use the website. Just a recap, we were just talking about the electronic tickets. So we're trying to make sure at a minimum that all home games have online tickets capable that people can buy. Sometimes teams are having tournaments and things like that that I'm not aware of, okay, because it was scheduled outside of Arbiter or the school, and we didn't get notified of that. If you see something in the mobile app and you don't see your tournament coming up in 3 weeks, 5 weeks, 10 weeks, tell us. Give us all the info, tell us when it is. You know, if you know what the gate fee is, all that stuff, we'll get it in the mobile app as well as the ticket system so that we can sell it in advance, and we'll, again, have a better idea of who else is coming to those events. Even if we're taking the money. So if we're throwing our own event and we get to get the gate fee for it, which doesn't happen often, we still want to sell them online, right? Because we'll sell more tickets that way. We are seeing a massive increase in ticket sales by doing them in advance. So every day we're selling hundreds of dollars worth of tickets for the upcoming weeks. Okay. Fundraising platform. So this is new, and I'm going to spend most of my time here and the odds and ends coming up. So we have signed up and partnered with a company called Rally Up. This is a company that all they do is online interactions for fundraising. They don't do anything for us. It's just a platform for us to use. Okay, so they're not marketing for us. They're not taking fees. It's actually free, aside from the credit card fee, which is only 2.2%. But they help us to be able to manage all of these things right now. So we've had people use Raise Up, GoFundMe, all of these types of programs. It does all of that. Okay, and it's something we can manage centrally so that we can help with it. We can make sure we're doing the right stuff. If you aren't familiar with Margot Birch is our VP of fundraising. So she's going to be helping manage that program. She'll help you guys set up your fundraising campaigns when you're ready to start doing that. We're working on building up more of our charity presence, making sure we're on all of the charity boards, that people know who we are. We're getting our social media set up, and by doing that, we'll be able to help you also promote your stuff to a broader group than maybe you're doing to just the parents. Okay. So some of the types of fundraisers that we can do there, and then we're going to talk a little bit about raffles versus sweepstakes and get some questions going back and forth. But we can do sweepstakes through it. Okay, and I'll talk a lot about that a little bit more with the raffle site because I'll explain how they kind of tie together. We can do a-thons, jog-a-thons, walk-a-thons, whatever a-thon you can think of. People can then sponsor a person per a-thon, per lap, per whatever it is that you're going to do. Okay, we can do auctions, silent auctions, and things like that. It'll help manage all of that for us. Okay, so then you get a whole online platform for managing that. You could do fundraiser events where you're selling tickets and stuff to an event. We can do that a few different ways, but we can do that through here. We can do crowdfunding like the GoFundMe type programs, or more like what you guys are doing now through some of the other programs. You can do the donation pages, ask every kid to try to raise $200. The group totals $20,000, and then the kid gets their own page. They mail it out to grandma and see how much we can get donated. Okay. Again, it's free for us. We don't want you guys using other platforms. There's no reason anymore. We let you before because we couldn't do them all. So there wasn't one platform that worked for everything. But now that we have one that really covers all of the different aspects, we want to make sure that we're using that, which will help us to track what you're doing, donations, the funding will automatically apply that funds to the right account for that. Any questions on Rally Up before we talk about raffles and sweepstakes? No? Great. So raffles versus sweepstakes, I want to kind of get more of a poll going. We have a small poll group, so I'm not really sure that it will help me as much as I had hoped, but we have had teams do raffles before, right? Where they get donated stuff, they sell some tickets to the parents, and then they do a drawing. That is regulated, okay? So we actually have to apply for a permit to do so. We have to report on it every year, pay a filing fee to be able to do that. It's negligible in the effort for it, so it isn't like we're saying maybe we don't do them. But with the new platform, we do have the ability to do a sweepstakes, which is almost identical to a raffle, but it isn't regulated as gambling because people can enter for free. I won't say it's difficult to enter, but they do have to go through steps. They have to print out a form that they'll get emailed to them. They have to mail it into Rally Up as a letter saying, I want entry into this sweepstakes, and here's the number, and then they'll manually give them their 1 entry or 10 entries or whatever equivalent that they're supposed to have. So because that's how they operate it, it does allow us to sell online. Raffles, we can't. You can't do a raffle and sell a ticket on your website. That's illegal in California. So do you guys see any value in the raffle / sweepstakes at all? Do you guys look at, hey, it would be good I can go out and get, gift cards and baskets and a membership to this gym and stuff donated and raffle it off? Or do you think that the other fundraising platforms like just, grandma, give me $200, is that easier for you to manage?
Probably that one.
Probably that one, kind of stay away from that.
I don't know about other sports, but aquatics.
How about Lori? How about you? You guys as football. Any thoughts on that?
I don't know how well our numbers were through the donation website, and if we've got a lot of families, let's say grandmas or whoever. I don't know the exact numbers on that, but I have an idea that probably wasn't that strong this year.
Yeah, I think some of those we saw even with dance and a couple of the other clubs that their fundraisers were, didn't hit their marks for sure, but that they got donations, it just wasn't coming anywhere near that. Do
right.
You think you guys would want to consider like raffles and or sweepstakes? I mean, or is that more work than you guys want to put in?
Well, no, we would be open to it if that, proves to be productive. We did just hold, we do have the annual fundraiser every year, which does incorporate a lot of our raffles, which are usually donated from others. So that's usually just good donated money.
That's a great question. Did you guys raffle off stuff at your event?
Yes, we did.
Okay. So just so you know, we will need to have an offline conversation about that because we actually have to get very specific information on what what dollar amounts you sold for the raffle and all that, because we will have to report that.
Yes. Okay.
So let's definitely make sure that we talk.
Okay.
So we can get that information in.
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay. Any other questions on the fundraising stuff or things you guys would like to see? We talked about last week last month that we are intending to do some kind of fundraisers corporately as well, just to try to be able to get stuff in. I don't know what that'll look like. I don't know if we'll do any this year, but things like raising the scoreboard, we're not going to put that on any one particular sport. We're going to try to figure out how to do that as a body, because it'll be much easier to raise the $400,000 we need total versus, saying, okay, football, you go raise, $400,000. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's move on from there. So print materials, this has been a pretty hot topic. We've been doing a lot of this.
Questions.
Yes, please.
So the scoreboard you're talking about, is it the one on the football field, or are you talking about a scoreboard throughout the school?
Well, so the gym and the stadium are both looking to be replaced.
All right, and for aquatics, that's one of the things I want to talk to you about, our scoreboard. Obviously, you guys were there, has issues.
Yeah.
I'm new, the funding for that. I know that another organization that I'm involved with had said we would help with that. So I'm curious about the funding for that. And if we're going to be funding other ones, is there a possibility for aquatics to get some relief from wet paint?
Potentially. Let's talk about that afterwards so we can take some of that offline.
Okay.
Print materials. So this is a hot topic. I mentioned it last time for those of you who've seen it, but we do have very, very, very discounted access to printing. So things like banners, A-frames, posters, print materials, whatever you got, shirts and other things as well. Although, people tend to just do that wherever, but we're talking pretty significant. I know football team used to spend, $150, $200 a banner, and we sold it to them for $32. Okay, so we're talking night and day difference. A couple key points that I just wanted to bring it up again is, one, it takes time. So it isn't the local print shop here that you can run to and say, hey, Jimmy, I need this tomorrow, and get it done. It's got to come from Burbank. It needs to be processed. The reason it's cheap is we do it online and have systems, and so all that takes some time. Typical turnaround time is 5 days, roughly, if we rush it. So if we put it in on Monday, we probably have the banner by Friday, in general, okay? It does not include us doing all the artwork. So it doesn't help for us to get a bunch of pictures and to be told, hey, can you put this name and this logo and this thing on there. We don't have an in-house graphic designer right now. So what we need you guys to do is do that work. Take that picture, make sure it's high enough quality. We'll help coach you, but you've got to get that part done. If you truly don't have people that can help with that, let us know and we'll figure out a plan for it. We are looking at trying to get some graphic design companies that will pay a flat fee to, and we can get work from them. The print company does have ability to do design work for you, but now you're back up to the same money you're going to spend locally. So it really needs us to kind of do that and help get that done. So nothing last minute, and provide print ready art so that we can do that if you're wanting. And if you plan enough in advance, we can help all of that, right? Senior banners is a great example. So we're going to be doing that for football probably. And those senior banners at 2 foot by 4, you're $12 or something. When you're doing 20 of them shipped, you're spending, $150 total, instead of, $400 or $500, $600 for a batch, okay? So lots of capabilities for print stuff. You know, if you have ideas, like we can do yard signs, we can do all kinds of different things, you know, that might be helpful for you. So think about it. Let us know if there are things you don't see in like this list here, or you're wondering, do we have access to XYZ product or things like that, and we can figure out what to do with it. Okay. Electronic payments. So I've modified this. So I did talk about it last week, but our last one, I keep saying last week. But I've got to kind of go over again what this really means and what we need to be using it for. So all online processing of any kind, whether it's a credit card, in person, online, anything, must be done through our accounts. So no PayPal, no Venmos, no Square accounts from yourself, no, oh, my buddy set this up for me and we have this website, nothing. It all has to be processed through our accounts. We have access to everything you could possibly need, and we've negotiated nonprofit rates that you can't get. So if you got a PayPal account, you're paying their 2.9 or whatever better percentage. Well, we're at 2.2. So now you're paying more than you need to. And as some of our clubs figured out when they set up their own, the IRS came after them because they didn't set it up properly. So now they're having to fill out forms with the IRS to show that it wasn't revenue for them, that they really are a nonprofit, and they're having to deal with that on their own personal taxes and with the IRS. So you don't want to be in that position. All tickets for the games are sold through the box office or the mobile app. We're working with athletics because we don't sell tickets. Okay, so we're working through athletics, Tim and his group, to ensure that all of our sports have the ability for e-tickets. We have found that all of them, especially aquatics and stuff, you know, not everybody's carrying cash for these things. You forget to pick it up on the way to the event, you know, even if it is only $5, $7. And so people want to pay with a credit card, and we have that ability. So we really want to make sure we're pushing the online ticket sales. Tell your parents, go in advance. Tell the other teams, tell the coaches, to tell the other coaches that are coming to let their parents know to buy the stuff in advance, like Rockland. Would have been perfect if they had all bought their stuff in advance for it. Registration and parent donations need to be done through Sports Engine or Team Unify. So we have some teams that are, again, using a PayPal or something to take registration money, and we don't want that. All registrations need to happen in one of two platforms. If you're aquatics, you can use Team Unify, and all others must use our Sports Engine platform. So if you're not doing that today, we need to work on getting that done for the sports and kind of go through there. Everything else that I haven't mentioned needs to go through our Square account. So Square is what we use for, you know, if you're wanting to take credit cards at, you know, your events for the snack bar or selling a t-shirt or things of that nature, use a Square. Most teams have bought their own little Square devices. They're $35 on Amazon. Most of them have their own, and it takes a chip or the Apple Pay or things like that. If you don't, we have some we'll loan you. You just have to ask in enough time to make sure we're around to give it to you. And then we even have these terminal devices that, you know, are fully contained units. You don't need a phone or anything. In the snack bar, we want to ensure that you are using the point of sale system. So football is definitely, they've been set up on it, trained on it. We have all their stuff in there. But for example, aquatics, we should be having a snack bar, and we'll train you on how to do that and what things we can do in that, you know, snack bar over there so that we can use those things.
So we don't use the snack bar proper. What they are doing is like a little table with parent donated, and then it's, I think, cash only.
I know, so we specifically bought A-frame signs so that you guys can use the snack bar proper, so that we can open up that fence. We have signs saying snack bar this way around the corner.
Okay.
We bought all those specifically to avoid having a table that takes cash only that, you might or might not set up, and that way you could also sell more things. You
Yeah.
can do more dollar value through it. We're seeing,
I'll
you
talk
know,
to Tyson about
I
that.
mean, not that you guys are football, but football will clear $5-6 grand a game.
Yeah, I worked the
Snack bar.
snack bar at our tournament the other day and I had like 6 sales.
Yeah, well, some of that is either selection of product, which we'll talk about in the do's and don'ts, or the odds and ends in a minute. Yeah, some of that's product selection. We'll help you because we have the point of sale. I know what things that are selling to parents, what are they buying, what are the kids buying, and candy. So we can pre-tell you, like, here's how much you can sell it for, make money. Here's how much, you know, what candy to buy, where you can go buy it from. You know, you'll be able to make that back.
Okay.
So we'll help with that kind of stuff. We want to ensure, you know, that people have access to all that and that we're as consistent as we can be too between sports and sport, right? You know, that if you go to a football game and are used to the you know, snack bar, that if you go to an aquatics game, you know you're probably gonna have a snack bar and you'll know that you can do, we have mobile online ordering now. So people can even order from the stands and it'll tell them when it's ready, they go pick it up and go back to their seat. Yeah. So we've got those things to use in there, and we'll kind of move on. Well, odds and ends. So these are more things that we've just been thinking about, or comments or questions or concerns and stuff that we've had over the last couple months. Take credit cards for everything. So if you're gonna run a table with 10 snacks on it and some waters, great, take credit card too. There's no reason not to have one of those little square devices and put a sign up that says we take credit cards, all major credit cards, and let people do it. Because we'll find a lot of times, especially the kids, they only have the Apple Pay. They have their mom's credit card on the phone and that's the only way they can take it. So when you don't offer that, they have no way to pay for it, right? You'll find parents like us, we don't normally carry cash. I have been lately because we've been traveling a lot, but normally we don't carry a lot of cash. So if I can Apple Pay, then I'm gonna buy stuff, right? So take credit cards. We encourage it. There's no reason not to. You're not gonna lose enough revenue off of the 2.5% and 30 cents to not make it worthwhile to make that an option for them. Use every event as an opportunity to fundraise. Run a snack bar. Do it at every event, even if it has to be a small table with only a handful of things. Waters sell like crazy. You're buying them for $3 for 50 or whatever it is, and you sell them for $1 or $2 a piece. You'll sell them, and they're selling hundreds per football game, hundreds. Run a snack bar, sell merchandise, buy stuff and sell it. Things that you maybe have had. I know a lot of teams have old stuff that they don't know what to do with, shirts that they bought, never sold. Cheer had flags they made like 5 years ago and they didn't know what to do with. They've been selling them at the football games. Find something, find ways to do it. Ask for donations at the game. There's no reason that you guys can't talk to the parents and say, hey, we're looking to buy a new scoreboard, or we have this new scoreboard you're trying to pay for. We would love your donations. Here's, if you'd like to come up to our snack bar and, we'll have an option for you to donate, or go to our website here and donate, right? Don't be afraid to ask, and don't be afraid to turn your events into an opportunity to fundraise. Take care of your equipment. This is not pointed at any one particular team or club or anything of that nature, but we invest a lot of money in the things that we're doing, in the snack bar, in the ticket booths, in the aquatic center, all of that stuff, and they're not always treated very well. And again, this isn't any one particular, we see it all over. I don't know if it's just that people think, well, it's the schools and I don't necessarily care as much, but the reality is we own a majority of it. And even if we don't own it, we buy it. So then even worse, that we don't even get to own it because I can't, write it off or anything else because it's not ours anymore. So we really need that help from everybody to ensure that the things that you guys are entrusted with to take care of is being taken care of. And if it's not, and it's not our responsibility to fix it or to control it, work with us and let us know as master boosters how we can help if we need to talk to coaches because they're just throwing stuff around, or if people are letting people in the snack bar and see it, and you're like, why are you in here? We paid for the digital keys on the snack bar. We know every person that comes in and out. So, help us. This stuff's not cheap. And when we're having issues, we want to fix it as quickly as we can. So we've stepped in for aquatics. We've been working with the district and with athletics as well. So hopefully we'll have that fixed for this weekend. But we need to buy a new computer and stuff like that, right? Take advantage of us as master boosters. A lot of times people don't come to us with issues or think about, oh, I'm having a hard time getting parent volunteers. Okay, well, come to us. Let us know that you're having a hard time. Maybe we'll find more parents for you. Maybe we'll broadcast out to the whole school that, we need particular volunteers at an upcoming tournament, or we need them overall. Hey, if you've got a kid in this kind of team, please come with us and we'll work on that. But that's what we're here for, is to help you guys as the boosters, right? Is to help you with those things, especially any of you who are new, right? Because as new, you may not have been told by the previous people. They may have been like, I'm out, thank you, I'm glad you stepped in. And you're like, okay, what do I do? And they gave you, 1 page of instruction, and you're trying to learn years and years of processes and what do we need to do on that. Use the programs we pay for. We have the volunteer sign up, right? Signup.com. We've got the new fundraising platform. We have Sports Engine. We have Team Unify. We've got Square credit cards. We have all of these different things we pay for. Utilize them. They're there for your benefit. They do serve a purpose that people tell us they need. Communicate to us about your events early on. So this goes for a few different things, especially fundraisers. If you're going to do a fundraiser, let us know well in advance, because there's a few things that can happen. One, we'll help figure out how, is there something we can do to make it better? A tournament, maybe you needing volunteers, maybe we have ideas on things you can do there. We can promote those events through our platforms. Okay, so we're going to have social platforms. We have email to everybody. You have access to your club, but we have access to all clubs. We also have access to the entire school.
Hey, Steven.
We have access to the entire school district. Yes.
Hey, this is Edgar. Hey, so that's great that that's available, but can you give me some examples of when you supplied volunteers before for other clubs?
Yeah.
A big, when done? I mean, because if that was the case, we'd be all over you. Yes, we need volunteers.
Yeah, we have certainly gotten volunteers. We've helped football this year with their snack bar and helped staff that. So, we're here to help. I mean, we can't guarantee you that if you say, I need people and here's what I need, that we are going to find something, but we have so many different avenues that you don't have that the likelihood is much better, right? Because we can talk to other teams, we can talk to athletics and see if we can't get some student body people to help. We can reach out to the school at large if we have an event, especially things like tournaments, right? So we've done that with track tournaments, where we may need more volunteers than we're getting, and we'll reach out to different groups of people to see how we can fulfill that. I need 100 and something people to run our main track tournament.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess was this benefit made aware of, like, from the get-go, I guess, or are we just learning about this now?
I think it's. Have I called it out specifically? I'm not really sure, but we have always tried to encourage everybody. If you're having any kind of issues, so doesn't have to be I can't find volunteers. If you're having any issues, we wanted you guys to come to us, and that has been something we say at every single meeting.
Well, I mean, I guess what I'm saying is it's kind of like, it's not like you can really slap us in the. Some of this I'm like, yeah, I mean, if you're resourced to partner with us or whatever, let's all,
Yeah, so for example, let's say,
yeah, we're here to help person. I feel like it's like a little punitive, like we haven't come to you, like you're saying we should have. I mean, I wasn't even aware, Stephen. If I was aware of some benefit, I said, heck yeah, I have a varsity girls tournament and we need help. We have limited people, whatever, and yeah, we're in a bind. So wish we would have known earlier.
Yeah, so certainly not wanting it to come off as punitive or, you know, against anybody, because there isn't any particular circumstances that we're referring here. Is more that we have heard of people struggling for things. Aquatics is certainly one, but they're not the only one. We have heard other clubs saying, hey.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just speaking as just one representative, right? So I'm just saying, it's great you're communicating it, and let's promote this even more. I mean, yeah, hell
sure.
yes, we need volunteers.
So, I mean, it is our whole purpose is to help you guys run your clubs as efficiently and effectively as you can, and to fix things that you can't fix on your own. So, you know, as a great example to that, you guys were not getting the aquatic scoreboard you wanted, and everybody had tried everything they could, all the way up to athletics and the coaches, and then we, as master boosters, stepped in and helped you guys get it done. So those are the kind of things that we want to help, and we want to make sure that everybody knows that earlier on that we get brought into potential issues where potential events that are going to be really big for you. If we know about them, doesn't mean we have to be involved, but if I knew about a tournament for football or aquatics or track or something, then it helps me to be prepared in advance to say, hey, you know, I haven't heard from you yet. Are we going to put this out on our social media or things of that nature? So yes, please use us for anything and everything. If you're having issues with, you know, finding volunteers, let us know. We'll help out. Yeah.
Cool, thanks.
So we've certainly had, for example, Carrie, if you were struggling to find people to run a snack bar because you're like, I don't have parent volunteers, I don't know how to manage this, we can definitely figure that out, because if nothing else, I go to another team and say, hey, do you have parents that would run a snack bar, and we'll split the revenue between the two clubs, right? You're getting something for nothing, you didn't have to do anything, and then the other club comes in and steps in for you and helps out.
Okay, so there's a cost then if we use you. Okay, never mind.
No, Edgar, we should definitely talk offline. I'm not sure why you're feeling so negative, but I didn't say there.
I said we'll split the whatever, you know, so I'm just I'm still gauging of what does this mean you'll help, so.
I think it's an offline conversation.
Yeah.
Maybe not best through.
So we'll help promote events. We want to help avoid pitfalls. So all of these things, if you communicate early, we can help and make sure that we get these things going and do that stuff. So we're at the end. These are the obligatory things I'll go over every meeting. So donations versus fees. As boosters, we cannot charge fees for sports or clubs, okay? Yeah, we can ask for voluntary contributions and donations. We help through the registration process. The reason we ask you to do the registration through your platforms is we get to help with the verbiage and how that gets worded out, and how you have no pay options and stuff in there, because we can't force people into a corner. We cannot have donations used for any particular student. They can't be used, they can't be forced to purchase spirit packs or uniforms or anything. So there's nothing that we can force them to do. We can't force fees with a waiver. We can't say you have to pay, it's the only option on the website, but if you can't pay, come to us and we'll help you out. Like that, that's not how this works. We give them the option right up front to pay or not pay. We can require students to fundraise as long as it's a team or club effort. So we can't say, okay, Susie, you didn't pay, so you need to go raise $150. You know, go do it. It needs to be holistic. If you're going to fundraise, make the whole team fundraise, with some minor exceptions, because we do have the typical fundraising buyout that we tell teams they should definitely offer. It's a great money maker. So in those particular cases, those people opt out of doing because they already donated. Any questions on that?
No, sir.
Monthly one-on-one. So again, through our website, you can book time with me without talking to me. You don't have to talk with me. You can literally book it right on the website. Shows my calendar, what time slots are available. Go there, book a meeting, and it'll show up on my calendar, and I meet with people. Often I'll start talking with you and not have a clue what we're meeting about. So please feel free to do that. We're going to add more of the staff to that. So if you have a fundraising thing, you'll be able to go in and book time with Margot to talk about a fundraiser. We'll probably add in some of the accounting team. So if you have more of an accounting question, you can get with the accounting team and talk to them as well. So please do it. This is, again, one of those things that we talk about every meeting, and very seldom do people take advantage of. So please do so. We offer it. There's no cost to you. Let's meet up. For now, for those of you online that don't have specific club things, we'll stay online. Edgar, you can stay as well, and we can talk more. But does anybody else have any other questions or comments to the agenda, or things they'd like to see in the agenda, or things they'd like us to be doing? And then I'm going to stop the recording, and then we can talk more. Okay, so give me just a quick second. I'm going to end the recording for this meeting.